Oh, Judy, I love fall. It's so cool, so colorful, so crisp.
Crisp? We'll explain about the crisp next on Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. Yes, fall is in the air and it is crisp, and so are the apples.
Yes, indeed they are. And we were at Portland Nursery on Stark Street, and later in the show we're going to be talking to Sarah about the 29th annual apple tasting. But coming up first, how to plant garlic. Well, on this beautiful morning, I am here with Gordon at 3D Ranch. And Gordon, you guys raise garlic, several different types of garlics. But before we talk about that more, I want to know what you do to plant. Your soil looks lovely, so let's start with that. What do you do to prepare?
Well, following the garlic harvest, we plant a buckwheat cover crop.
Sure.
We let that grow for 8 to 10 weeks, and then we put non-composted horse manure on top of the buckwheat.
Wow. Okay.
Work that buckwheat and the manure into the soil, pretty much staying 6 to 8 inches at depth, so we don't do too much disturbance. And then we do a finish till with a walk-behind tiller to do our leveling and bed preparation, and then we're ready to plant.
And then I see you are planting in a straight line, and you've done like rows of this. So you're going to start showing us how to do it. But before you do that, there's specific ways you think about planting garlic, isn't there? Tell me what you've done to them.
So once we're ready to plant, just shortly before planting time, we separate the cloves from the bulb. We inspect the cloves. We're looking for defects. Obviously, we're looking to plant the largest cloves.
Wait, now I would want to eat those.
yeah, you would, but you would want to do the opposite.
Okay.
So you eat the small ones and you plant the largest ones.
Okay.
That way your average head size will be a little bit larger, so you'll get more garlic.
Which makes perfect sense. Now, are you just cramming them in the ground then?
So I've prepared the soil so that the top 4 inches is nice and loose.
Oh, that is.
And
wow.
I just push it in, and when I'm holding the garlic clove, I'm not damaging the tip. I'm holding it on what I call the shoulder of the clove, and I just press them in. About 4 inches apart for this one. This is a larger sized garlic. Some of them you can go 3 inches. Some of them, like elephant, go 6 inches.
And then I'm assuming you just cover them back up.
And then after the row is covered in, filled with cloves, then I mound a couple inches of loose soil on top of the row of cloves. And then following that, I rake leaves and I cover it with maple leaves and oak leaves for mulch. That gives me good water retention in the spring. It also gives a little bit of insulation for hard freezes. And then it serves as a mulch, so I incorporate all of that back in the soil when I prepare the beds for the cover crop.
Perfect. Well, now here's what we're going to do. Let's take a walk over here and go look at some of the other stuff you have displayed for us. All right, Gordon, so now we are here with this great display, and really there's so many different varieties, which this is just a small portion, but why? Why do we have different varieties of garlic? Because, you know, to me it tastes like garlic.
Well, I'm sorry, but garlic's not just garlic.
Okay.
What we've done is we've tried to cover the whole spectrum of garlic flavors and characteristics. So we go from a very mild, like French red shallot, which is not a garlic, and then actually we get into milder garlics. We go into medium, and then we progress up to a very strong garlics to try and cover our customers' tastes.
Because they really do, kind of like wines, there are flavors that if you pay attention to, you can really taste the differences. And is that good for cooking then, I'm assuming? So what you're cooking makes a difference with what garlic you use?
So we do have varieties that are more prominent than others. So if someone's cooking a dish where they really want a bold garlic presence, then we can address that with one of these stronger varieties.
Sure.
Or if they want a more subtle presence, like in a salsa or a pesto, then we can go to a milder variety. Sometimes folks want to deal with just very large cloves. Sometimes they want to deal with just a few smaller cloves. So we can cover all the bulb characteristics as well as the flavor characteristics.
Because each one does have characteristics, do they not? So that really does make a difference too in what you grow and what you eat and how you use it.
Correct.
So now we are planting in the fall. When does one think about harvest?
Generally harvest is late June, early July.
Okay.
So usually by the middle of July we're past the point where it should come out of the ground.
And then you really like this book for people to get a lot more information as well.
Correct. This is a complete book of garlic by Ted Jordan Meredith. It's an excellent reference document to learn anything you might want to know about garlic.
Perfect. And then where do people get, where can they go and find this wonderful selection you have?
So the best locations for this type of garlic are local farmers markets. The North Plains Garlic Festival is an excellent location as well. Sometimes small-scale specialty stores will have garlic like this as well.
And you're a big fan of the Beaverton Market, that's where you go, right?
The Beaverton Market is our main market, and then we're also at the Hillsboro Farmers Market.
Wonderful. Well, you know, this is fascinating to me. I find the whole concept unique and wonderful. And if you want to get more information, we invite you to go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. You can also find a listing of where they are at so you can purchase them directly from him and get a lot more information from this very intelligent man on garlic. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Gordon.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery, and I'd like to invite you to our annual apple tasting. No one does apples like Portland Nursery, so come join us, always the second and third weekends of October. Sample a variety of apples from sweet to tart. Enjoy fresh pressed apple cider, piping hot apple strudel, and bins of freshly picked apples and pears. We'll have live entertainment, crafts for the kids, and cooking demonstrations. Don't miss our annual apple tasting at our 50th and Stark location. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Fall is a time to think of planting and planning. Planting new plants now will help them get a jump start on next year. Black Gold All-Purpose can help your plants get ready for winter and next spring. Formulated with a blend of natural and organic nutrients, it contains everything your plants and spring bulbs need for a happy and healthy start. Look for Black Gold All-Purpose at your local garden center or nursery. Black Gold, all the riches of the earth.
Every year, trees fall or break, causing property damage, power outages, and injury.
Now is the time for Bartlett Tree Experts and Collier Arbor Care to get your trees ready for the extreme conditions ahead.
Our free consultation will help to spot the signs of potentially hazardous trees.
We can help address problems before they occur. Whether it's trees or shrubs, we can help you get a healthy and beautiful garden.
Collier Arbor Care and Bartlett Tree Experts, providing environmentally safe tree care since 1907.
Do you have a leaning or broken fence? Fix a broken fence with ease. Made in Oregon, the sturdy fence post bracket can mend your drooping fence. Strong winds, falling debris, dry rot, and wayward drivers can all cause havoc on your once sturdy fence. Our sturdy bracket attaches to your existing fence and is easily installed in 30 minutes. Limit waste, materials, and save money by fixing your existing fence. Purchase online at sturdfence.com or visit participating Par Lumber and Pro Build stores.
I'm at Portland Nursery on Stark Street with Sarah. And Sarah, this is one of my favorite events that you guys run here. What's going on?
Thank you. It's our 29th annual apple tasting. It's become quite popular here in Portland. We've got live music, hard cider tasting, strudel and ice cream, everyone's favorite. Free kids activities. We've got Hot Lips Pizza coming for pizza if you want some. We've got lots of local vendors and over 50 varieties of apples to taste.
Wow,
and
50.
Then we do have 50 to taste.
It's amazing.
We've also got pear varieties, and we've got almost all the apples for sale at 99 cents a pound.
You know, it's remarkable. You go to the grocery store, even at the farmer's market, and there might be 10, but 50. I think that's most fun to come with your family and your friends to come and hang out at Portland Nursery.
Yeah, there's so many varieties that people don't even know are out there. We get lots of people from the East Coast saying, oh, this is my favorite apple, you know, back from the East Coast. And so we have all of them to taste. We try to get as many out to buy as we can. But not all of them are available, so we put, you know, the fresh stocks out in the morning. So if you want a certain kind,
come
you
early.
know, come early in the morning.
Are there specific activities for the kids?
Yeah, we've got free kids activities. We've got a scarecrow contest that they can judge, pumpkin painting, face painting, a scavenger hunt, and they always love our fresh pressed cider.
Ooh.
So they can get some samples of that.
And there is a benefit to this wonderful event.
Yes, we try to have people bring in a can of food, and that all goes to the Oregon Food Bank. So with as many people as we have coming through, if everyone can remember to bring a can of food, we can really make an impact.
And you can get a t-shirt. I love this t-shirt this year.
Thank you. We have done this design in-house. David has many talents, and it's actually glow in the dark. So you can take one home and test it out at home. Try the glow-in-the-dark t-shirt.
Oh, well, thank you so much for putting on this wonderful event. We love promoting it. We love coming here and hanging out. It's really something for everyone in your family to come down to the Portland Nursery on Stark Street this weekend and next weekend and come out and taste some apples and enjoy the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru. Your way on the Parkway.
They had to take the car, they had to get it open with the jaws of life, take me out on a backboard, took me to a Trauma One center. I absolutely feel like the Subaru saved my life.
Well, we trust Capital. We trust our salesperson here, Jackie.
Jackie's great. I believe that she really cares about us.
She teaches me about the Subaru.
Our way on the Parkway.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
10 days, 9 nights, 8 gardens, 7 nights on a cruise ship, 6 days in port, 5 days of private tours, 4 islands, 3 internationally recognized gardens, 2 nights on Waikiki Beach, and 1 great trip with your Garden Time gang. Travel with William and Judy on our next Garden Time tour this February in beautiful Hawaii. Book by October 15th and save $100. Go to gardentime.tv/tours for all the details.
A destination farm and garden market featuring the very best each season has to offer. Smith Berry Barn offers seasonal farm fresh fruits and vegetables and specialty herbs and perennials. Visit the historic barn for distinctive gifts, gourmet foods, and homemade milkshakes.
Currently available, multiple varieties of tomatoes, apples, and pears.
Centrally located off of Shoals Ferry Road between Sherwood and Hillsborough. Smith Berry Barn, growing good taste from the ground up.
Well, you know, normally when we come out to Adelman's Peonies and we talk about the beautiful peony flower with Carol, you know, they're all in bloom everywhere. We've never been here at fall before to talk about how to prune and cut them, but look at this garden still, even in almost October here, it is stunning. So good job on that, Carol. Now, what are we going to be doing? Because we've talked about how to prune different peonies before, but tell me about this one variety we're going to talk about.
Okay, this is a tree peony called Renown. And one of the reasons, some of the reasons you might want to divide a tree peony is if you're moving and you want to take some with you, if it isn't putting out as many flowers as it did before, if it's in too shady of a spot, so, some of those things you might want to dig it up and divide it. And this is about a 3-year-old plant here.
This is only 3, my goodness, it's massive.
And this is the woody top, and we've cut it down quite a bit so that we can get to what we're doing, and we washed it so that we can have a good view. And these are the tools that we use for dividing.
And Carol, you suggest even to the home gardener, when you dig any peony up to do some pruning, wash it off so you really see what's there, right?
Well, it's a good idea, especially if it's an expensive one,
Sure.
so you
Yeah.
can feel more comfortable with what you're doing. So you want to leave some pieces with eyes on some pieces
And
with roots.
these little white things here are the eyes?
Those are the eyes,
Okay.
and those are going to make the stems and the leaves and the flowers for next year.
And then what is your goal? What are you looking for with each of the stems with eyes
Well,
on it?
We want to leave some good root mass with it.
Uh-huh.
We'll see how we can get that out of there.
I feel like I should help, but I don't know how.
I've got it all the way. I think it's pretty well affixed to this one.
Uh-huh.
And we have another one over here I think we can cut off pretty
And so
easily.
you're not really you're not saying, oh, this is the one I have to do this with. You're kind of letting the whole root system tell you what needs to be cut, okay?
Sometimes you can get some big ones,
Wow.
but sometimes you get some small ones too. So,
And would you consider this one, this could be replanted just like this then?
well, it could, but we're going to cut the...
Oh, you're just pruning off some of the
We're
length
going
of
to
them.
take off some of the length so that it gets the idea that it's supposed to start growing again.
And then would you transplant it now at this time?
Yes. And so you can plant it like that and cover it up probably about to here.
Uh-huh.
And it'll just take off. And one fellow today called and he was thrilled because his first year plant that he planted last fall, tree peony bloomed for him already.
Oh, really?
And his friends thought that was unheard of.
Well, it's not now, is it?
So maybe we're going to have to grab hold of this and pull.
I'm very good at helping. So what we're going to do is take a break while we work on this and get it apart, okay? So now, Carol, from that one massive plant, you've come up with 5 really large ones and 1 little one that you're going to give your granddaughter to work on, you said. But tell me about now the transplanting concept. What is it that you would use to amend the soil before you put these in?
Well, we use a low nitrogen fertilizer, like a tulip daffodil fertilizer. That works really well. And in Western Oregon, we have acid soil, so we add a cup of lime or dolomite to the planting hole to sweeten it up a little bit.
And then,
So you would set the plant down like this. The roots actually could be a little bit shorter.
uh-huh.
And cover it up to these bottom eyes here, and it will make more growth next year, and then possibly next year it'll set out more stems. They're not like a tree rose. They shouldn't be just a one stem plant. They should be a multi-stem plant. And if you get a plant that has old weak stems, you could cut it down to the ground level and it will put up sprouts beside it so that you'll have a
And what about,
invigorated.
you really think, especially with tree peonies, they should be on their own root system is best for them?
Yes, because if you live in a really cold climate, then if they die down in the winter, they'll come back up as the same thing as opposed to a grafted one, which sometimes the herbaceous graft will take over.
Sure, sure. Well, you know, we always come out here in the spring and we see these breathtaking blooms from peonies, but the reality is sometimes you got to do a little work in the fall to get ready for those beautiful blooms in the spring. For more information on all kinds of information on peonies, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to Carol's peony website. Carol, thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Locally grown, fresh from the farm, stylish and sustainable, your dream yard starts at Al's Garden Center. Our biggest sale of the year is on now. You'll find huge discounts throughout the store, including indoor and outdoor pottery. Also save big on perennials, trees, shrubs, grills, patio furniture, and more. Our biggest sale of the year is on now. Al's Garden Center's in Woodburn, Sherwood, and Gresham.
We have close to 40 acres in pumpkins now. Every year it seems to get a little bigger. We add one more attraction.
We've done the rope swing.
I'm gonna shoot some apples.
We have a brand new laser adventure, and our bug trains have always been a big hit. We have all these greenhouses, and come October, we fill them with all different kinds of activities. A dark hay maze, we have a hay obstacle course, we have a kids hay maze. There's something for everybody. Little kids, big kids, everywhere in between.
It's the Standard TV and Appliance store-wide sale. Save on hundreds of appliances, mattresses, and HD TVs now through Monday.
Save 54% on a stainless steel Samsung 4-piece kitchen package. Huge savings on an Electrolux washer with steam, only $624. Or get a premium stainless steel KitchenAid dishwasher for just $629. And get our lowest price ever on a Beauty Rest Queen mattress, only $499.
Hurry! Columbus Day savings won't last long. Standard TV and Appliance.
Fall is the best time to reconnect with your garden. Let Blooming Junction refresh your garden, your palate, and your soul for the cooler days ahead. Come take advantage of our fantastic selection of perennials at 35% off. Our gorgeous high-fiber pottery is 40% off. It's the best time to plant and our best sell of the year. So come connect with nature and discover beauty at every turn. And enjoy the freshest produce grown organically right here on the farm. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Have you ever wanted to see a cranberry bog? I am actually at Long Beach with Kim Patton. And Kim, we are actually at a research center, aren't we?
This is the WSU Research Station, and yes, it's a research farm. It's about 10 acres of cranberries that we grow for research and commercial production.
And you're in charge here, and you are doing a lot of research on what? I see plants here. So you're looking for different kind of attributes for these plants?
We do a lot of variety testing, then we look at production, disease resistance, fruit rot resistance, fruit quality, as well as we also do a lot of pest management work on. We have a lot of plots out there that look at weed control, disease, and insect control.
And they're really pretty plants, and so they look like little kind of a shrub. What kind of a plant are they?
They're a low-growing vine, and they look just like this, whether they're 100 years old or whether they're just 3 or 4 years old. And so they really just a low profile, like a ground cover.
Oh, it is nice. And so here we are in October, so we're getting close to harvest?
We are right on harvest. It usually starts mid-September and goes until mid-November.
So Kim, I'm seeing that there's different kind of berries or different colors. When I go to the grocery store, they're mostly red. So what's that difference?
Well, there are a lot of varieties. Cranberries were selected in the wild, and so a lot of the varieties we're growing are actually just wild selections from the East Coast. But within the last 20 years, there's been a lot of new releases, and they're much darker in color, are richer, higher anthocyanins. So what we're seeing here is a much darker variety and higher pigment than the traditional varieties that you're seeing out there. Generally, though, you get the stuff underneath the canopy, it's a little bit lighter. The stuff up on the top is a little bit darker.
And the anthocyanins are actually more healthy for us. There's a lot better kind of vitamins for us.
That's correct. So a lot of the pigments that are associated with cranberries that have all the nutraceutical value are associated with that red color.
And so we are going to go see a harvest, so let's go over there.
Super.
Great. So we've learned about the cranberry plants from Extension, but now we're actually talking to Ardell, who's a farmer, and this is one of your bogs.
Right.
And so this is, what kind of harvest is this called?
This is water harvest or wet harvest, where we put water on the bog, beat the berries off, and then surround them and drag them to a corner, and then elevate them off into the trucks.
So you're going to be flooding, so how long does that take? This is a big piece of land. How long does it take to flood it?
This is about a little bit over an acre, and it's about two days ahead that we'll start flooding. And then if it's not quite up, it depends on how dry it is, whether it soaks in or not. And then we'll top it off before the crew comes in.
And so these guys are really using muscle, labor.
Today, yes, the water didn't get very high when they needed to start. So they're having to drag through the vines, which is not ideal, but generally the water is floating, the berries are floating, and it's a little simpler.
Yeah, and so they're dragging it to like a central location right here on the shore, and then what happens?
Then we'll set up an elevator. It's like a little escalator, and it elevates them into the trucks, into a 6-tote truck, and each tote has about 1,000 pounds in it. Wow. So when we're taking a truckload, it's about 3 tons.
Oh my gosh, and then where does it go from there?
It just goes north about 2 miles for us here to the Ocean Spray Receiving Plant. and then they'll clean them and get them ready to either process or put to the freezers.
Ah, and then we go to the store and get them.
That's right, yeah. Now, but the ones you get at the store are the fresh pick.
Do you have just one variety of cranberries that you grow, or
no,
many?
We have several, and we've been changing to new varieties. The reason we change is to get some that have higher yields, or they produce earlier and darker color and more disease resistance.
Oh, that's really important, definitely.
Yes, yeah.
Well, right now we're going to go to another place and talk about a special event, so let's go.
Okay.
Well, it is a special event happening today, and I'm with Betsy. And Betsy, where are we?
We're at the Columbia Pacific Heritage Museum in Ilwaco, Washington.
And so what is the name of the festival?
It is the Cranberry Fair and Harvest Festival.
And so,
or it could be the other way around, but it is. We call it the Cranberry.
Yeah, and for short.
Yes.
And so what will be happening when we come and visit?
Well, there's all kinds of things going on in Ilwaco. Here at the museum, we have vendors. We have about 18 vendors, and we have a lot of demonstrators. So we have people demonstrating ceramics and weaving and spinning and quilting and on and on. So it's really all of the wonderful things that go on in the craft world here at the museum.
So Betsy, is this a recent festival? You started it recently or not?
Well, the museum actually restarted it in the 1980s. It originally started in the 1920s as a way for the people of the South Pacific County, the Long Beach area, to showcase the beautiful objects that they made, like quilts and knitting and sewing and those kinds of things, as well as their products, the cranberry products, apples, strawberries, beans, anything that people grew, they would bring to the fair.
Really a rich history around here.
Very much so.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, but there's also another museum, and I'm with Melinda. And Melinda, what's the name of the museum that you work at?
It's the Cranberry Museum, and it's in Long Beach on Pioneer Road.
And so what's going on there during the festival?
We're going to be harvesting our cranberries so that the visitors can come and see actually how cranberries are harvested.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. We really had fun watching that. Melinda, when people come over to the Cranberry Museum, what will they see?
Well, it's a nice, unique little museum. We have historical equipment that was used in the harvest in early days. Lots of historical pictures.
And I love the store, and you have cranberry ice cream, which was a really treat.
Right, and of course, most of the things in the store are all cranberry. We have to promote our industry, so it's cranberry.
Of course, of course. Really, there's such a lovely festival up here. You have to come for the weekend, come up on Saturday or Sunday, come to both museums, and then you'll be able to see the harvest. For any other information, please go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their websites, and you get all the information. Ladies, thanks so much, and have a great festival.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, and we want to thank Portland Nursery on Stark Street for letting us hang out. And you know, this weekend and next weekend is the 29th annual apple tasting event. You got to come out and taste some apples.
So for more information on that event and for information on other wonderful things happening around our area, you can always go to gardentime.tv.
William and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.